So what's this all about? Sort of weird. Hello, it's another video for channel Smash That Code. Today I want to talk about new project that I've got. It's called Musiculon, but before we dive into some details about this project, I want to talk about programming in general. So, is it actually a nice hobby to have? Is it interesting to spend stuff on it and discuss it with your friends? Well, it really depends. So, as you see on this slide, it can be boring, it can be tedious, it can feel like a homework with some arithmetics and exercises and whatnot. So why would you spend your time on this stuff when you can have some fun? For example, you may just check your mobile device and check your social networks and find some cool memes and discuss them with friends or send each other some stickers and whatnot. So why this activity feels interesting and programming as an idea may feel like boring work? I have a theory about that, and I would like to discuss it in some details. Next slide. So, why we like memes, or why we like literature, or movies, or cinema, or I don't know, anything? Well, at first, other people who to some degree understand other people and what they like spend time doing this. They created different paintings, different games, different music pieces and everything. And it was done by other people. And when you stumble upon something like a meme done by other person who actually enjoys anime or some music show or anything, you feel like, it's some kind of weird, but it seems like I'm in a company with a nice guy who tells jokes, and I really enjoy being in a company with a guy who tells jokes because I like being entertained. So that's, I think, the first piece of puzzle why we like memes and we don't like learning new stuff. So first time I stumbled upon memes, I felt like, what? These are images, so what does it mean? Why should I care? And later, when I understood that, oh, it's like a joke in one image, and it has some relation to a movie or some stupid anime shot from some show that was like translated poorly some time ago, or it's like a combination of multiple memes or something like that. So it feels like in some way it's like a stand-up comedy where everyone can participate and try their jokes. And when you have this particular mindset and you know like some ideas behind some of memes, you can actually enjoy it. So why some time ago I wouldn't enjoy them at all? Because I have no idea what is the format of this, what is this about. And after some time, when I learned and I trained myself that, oh, I know, this is a meme, so this kind of joke. If it's a joke, then, oh, I can think of it as a joke. So why it should be funny? Aha, it's because something related to this movie I know. Yep. So this all means that we have a certain way of looking at things. And if we lack sort of a context for this information, be it programming, be it music, be it, I don't know, traveling or other cultures, we don't understand them. And if we don't understand them, we can't enjoy them. So the third piece of a puzzle is we enjoy stuff that we genuinely decided to do. So when you watch your movie or you watch your TV show, you decided to do this. You decided to spend your time, and you know that it's your time and it's your choice, and it makes even boring shows or even boring activities more joyful. Yeah, so you decided you would be a good person today, so you will run a bit outside. Nice. Or you decided that you want to practice some new language. That's great, and you feel great because you feel like you're doing something that you like and you decided to do this. And it's really important because if someone forces you to do some stuff like homework, you feel like, it feels like I'm exploited, or it feels like I wouldn't do this if I wasn't forced to do this. So I don't know, it feels like a job. To wrap up all this stuff, human activities that we enjoy have multiple qualities about them. We feel that they're somehow related to people we would be joyful to hang with. So if we think that this stuff was done by people who we would like to talk, for example, in real life, then we would have better time doing this stuff. Second thing, we have to be in a certain mindset. We have to expect certain things, and we have to have some knowledge to understand some stuff. And the third, one of the most important things about interest in human activities is that we have to feel that it's our own choice. We decided our fate, we decided to risk our minute of time and watch these boring memes. Maybe there will be something cool. So, how all this can be related to programming and the hobby? As you understood already, programming is also some of human activities. And while I don't think I have any great experience to describe how you particular can have a human relation with programming in general, I think you may imagine what does it feel like to be a person who is doing programming. How? Well, let's try to compare programming to other activities. Boom. So, if you understand the concept of cooking, it's like a process of chopping stuff and buying stuff and keeping it in the fridge, and then using a frying pan and boiling stuff and adding different spices and everything. Well, it can be boring, it can be like time consuming, and it requires some experimenting. And I don't know, you may like cooking one thing, but you wouldn't like cakes. You would really enjoy cooking cakes, but not enjoy cooking beef steaks or something like that. Or for example, drawing. I really dislike drawing because it feels like you have to sit and watch on stuff, and then you have to move your hand with some pencil or, I don't know, pen to try to recreate some stuff, and it feels like I already see all this stuff. I feel too impatient for sitting here and like watching stuff. It's not interesting. And programming feels a little bit similar to cooking and drawing. So you have to sit, you have to type something in your computer, you have to run something, you have to debug something, you have to search for new things when you stumble upon something like really weird, and you can get issues and you have to solve them. So what these three activities have in common? Well, they are tremendously different from the thing that you get after like finishing this stuff. So when you are doing cooking, it's like a mess. But if you've done a great dish, it's delicious, it's nice, and people, even without any appreciation for cooking, can appreciate food. If you've been drawing for years and years and years, people may still think that your like paintings are not that good. But some people spend their whole lives doing this stuff, and sometimes they got recognition, maybe after their death or something, but they still got their recognition, and people decide that their paintings are beautiful and they are art. So people can appreciate their works, but they don't actually appreciate the process of doing them. And the same thing goes to programs. You may enjoy your WhatsApp, your Facebook, or any other stuff you got on your phone or computer, but you may not appreciate the process. So if you really want to do some programming, you may find it useful to decide for yourself. If I would have some time and I would like to learn some new stuff, for example, drawing, would I spend my time with it? Is it really interesting for me to know the new details and things about equipment, things about discipline and everything? Would it be interesting for you or for your friend? Would you enjoy discussing it with someone? If not, then maybe drawing is not for you. So programming, well, it's more like about learning new stuff and learning new words and sitting with a computer for days, I guess, and if you don't have any friend to discuss it, you may actually discuss it with different people around the world through internet, because like it was done by people who know how to do programming. But if you feel like sitting and thinking and everything doesn't scratch some itch with you, it's fine. You can just appreciate some programs that you use and go along. That's fine. So now I want to show an example of why I think programming can be a great hobby if you decide to invest some of your time in doing it. Once upon a time, no, programming can be a rewarding hobby. Yeah, I know, I said it already. So once upon a time, I decided that I want to play guitar. So I bought it about 3 years ago and decided, yay, I want to be like Metallica, or, well, not actually like Metallica. I wanted to play some stuff. I want to plug some strings and get some noise and like check out if it's interesting for me or not. It was really enjoyable. But the problem was I was listening for music and there was so many things there. So like drums, there were like bass or multiple guitars and vocals and everything. And I thought like, well, it's too difficult for me. Maybe there is some theory about that. And yes, there is actually a huge amount of information that people who spend their time learning how to play music like try to communicate with each other to help each other to be better at composing music and understanding music. But, well, yeah, we have things like notes, like C, D, F, G, A, B. Again, we have some, I don't know, stuff like we call major or minor or melody or some bass line and many other things. But to me, it always felt like weird, like why we call notes like this? Is it really important that we call notes like C? Well, couldn't we just use another way to describe them? Well, like when I'm looking at notes, what should I... it's sort of difficult to describe, but why, for example, you're looking at piano keys and you see that like 60 of them. So how they are related to each other? Is there any mechanisms that I can like visualize, like how they are related to each other? And yes, you have intervals, you have theory, you can have exercises and everything, but visually, not through one instrument, because there is an idea that we should use same notes on different instruments so that we can play harmoniously with each other. So it feels like when we learn some relation between notes, the same knowledge should be applicable, for example, from piano to guitar, from guitar to violin and bass and everything. So why should we base our understanding of notes only using piano keys? Well, everyone would say that because it's a classical way to describe theory and everything. Well, I'm not really interested in classical way of describing things. I'm interested in a way that helps me to understand something. So my idea was, okay, I understand there are notes and there are octaves, and behind every note you can hear a certain frequency, and when you say it's like C of fourth octave, then it means certain frequency. But if you would say C of fifth octave, it means it's like a C of fourth octave, but twice as frequent. Like, okay, I think it can be visualized in sort of like a spiral, as you can see at the right side. And if I could move some sort of a circle inside this spiral, I maybe play some notes. And that's how I got an idea. Though, if I would find a special like framework that would help me to draw some stuff that would look like, I don't know, rectangles, and each rectangle would correspond to a certain note from a piano, for example, then I would move some sort of an object above it and I would play sounds. And that way I could show that maybe we can describe some notes in a different manner and it would make more sense than just a linear table of these white and black keys that we see on a piano. I'm not saying that it's like the best thing to do, but it definitely feels like interesting experiment. And that's where we after this idea I spent, I don't know, multiple weeks thinking about what I want and some days trying to implement all this stuff. I playtested this with some people around me, and after some experience I got, well, sorry, ta-da! Well, after this I can move my circle around, and each rectangle, yeah, it actually triggers playing the sound. If you remember, I said that, you know, notes have a certain relation, and I can't visualize it using a piano. I wanted to show that, you know, you can hear this sound, right? So this sound and these, they are related. So do, so this one is 2 times more frequent. This one is 2 times frequent again. Oops. Nice. So each time you move like 12 keys on the piano, like this. You almost move to a new region that have the same properties. It again will be divided by 12 pieces, and they will have a relation with outer circle. And the same goes to inner circle. So this is just a concept, and I was more interested in like where to find sounds to play, how to make it more pleasant to listen. Yeah, each sound is looped. And that's how I got to this implementation. I thought that maybe I should be moving not my circle, but maybe moving whole keys to make them bigger and easier to navigate. But in the end I decided that maybe I can change the size of a circle to make it more convenient to point in at least 2 notes at the center of this. And also the speed is changing, but it doesn't matter. So I can move it either with the DualShock 4 controller, or I can do this on a keyboard. So if you really want to try this stuff, you can use instructions from my previous video about Vercus project and use the same approach for this one. It's written in Java, and if you want to know some details, just read some code, write some comments. I wish everyone a great day. Stay safe.